amazing. I love being here. I really feel like home. It was my home in 2011 until the beginning of 2012. I came here to visit almost 2 years ago, and every time I come here, it brings me memories of the time I was studying the master's here. It's really good. I was a journalist before. I had some years of experience, but I wanted something different, and I wanted to see a different perspective, how the media worked here. So being able to live here and study and see also not only the classes, but the experience, the whole experience itself, helped me a lot to get this different perspective that I was hoping. And at the time, it was the year before the Olympic Games, which I really love, so it was part of a whole package. Discipline and persistence are the two qualities that you have to have in common. I see here the journalists use more social media maybe. A lot of the Brazilian journalists use Twitter, but more the ones on the website, I feel, than the TV reporters. I think British journalists are very, very critical. I think that's a lesson for Brazilian journalists. We are, but that's a small part of our media. But then the rest, I think, is kind of similar. Regarding the deadlines, the importance of the news, the way we conduct it, and the way we write it, and the way we approach it, I think most of it is similar. I think there's still a way to go, especially in football. On the other sports, no. But at football, sometimes people can be very close-minded. But I think this is changing, hopefully, because women are as talented and as capable as men. I don't see. I think we're getting there. Hopefully, we'll get there soon. I haven't had the experience to cover a match, for instance. I did in Glasgow, but I don't know if I can say from the football experience, but because what I've covered, I figure out is the same. But in Brazil, like if you're a woman and you go to a live broadcast, maybe if you go on the field of play, and the fans sometimes can get really disrespectful. Not always, but it happened. It has happened to me and to some colleagues. I just don't reply at the time for them because I'm working. So for me, my work is more important than anything. But I think there's something that afterwards I talk about it. We have to talk about it. And they're a minority, so hopefully this will keep changing. I think this is, unfortunately, that's the market, how it works. Male football players, they're more valuable because they sell more. I think it's. I still think women football coverage is improving, but it's so far away of what it should be. I see here in England, I see in Brazil, and I see it everywhere. The coverage is still really small. Salaries are not equal. The attention they get, the sponsorship they have, not only football, in other sports as well. You can see in tennis, surf, almost all sports. So I think this is something that still has a lot to improve. I've never been to something, through some situation where I had to work more to be noticed. But some women who are sports journalists are seen differently at first, until then you come, you do your job well, and then people start seeing, okay, she's good. I think to remain impartial, you have to always listen to both sides, but sometimes you end up being a little partial because sometimes it's impossible to be totally impartial. It depends on what you're covering. But it's always good to hear all the sides of that basic thing. Hear all the sides of the story, because then you can have your own opinion on what's important about that subject.